It all started out with one failed NBA superstar, me, sitting at our kitchen table in 2017 saying to Mrs. Nacho, she was not called that at the time, otherwise known as Mary, what should I call my Facebook group to talk about implants and practice management? Said, I'm a lot of toppings, broker, speaker, dentist. You love nachos. Let's call it dental nachos. Nachos are meant to be shared. Nachos get messy. There's a comedian who says you would fight your grandmother for the last chip on the plate. Very dentist there. So we called it Dental Nachos, February 2017. One member, and I thought maybe we would get up to 1,000 members. We were lucky. Well, yada, yada, for my favorite show, Seinfeld. We are at 50,000 members today. And I'm so proud of you for making this community what it is. ABC to FLA, always be connecting to feel less alone. So on my special day, I am going to use a message from one of my idols, Gary Vee, who talks about the guilt economy. So deliver so much value, give so much of yourselves that when it comes time to ask for a favor, people will do it, because they feel guilty for all of the awesome stuff you have done for them. So if you're out there watching live or on demand, and Dental Nachos has helped you feel less alone, Dental Nachos has helped you survive, thrive, and not cry. Dental Nachos has introduced you to a friend that you text literally every day. And the only reason you met was because of a guy who named himself after an appetizer. That's me. I would love for you to text Supreme to 215-543-6454 to get our best deal on the Dental Nachos Supreme on-demand CE. It's a year of unlimited on-demand CE that will help you build your dentisting core, clinical skills, business skills, verbal skills, how not to cry inside skills. We would love if you purchase this to support us today. And because I know my dentisting people love a deal, you will save $143 if you purchase this using the code 143FB. 143 was Mr. Rogers' favorite number, which stands for I love you. And when I'm stopped on the street wearing this shirt and people say, what is Dental Nachos? I say, that's a great question. A lot of people ask me that. Dentists are really good at being nice to patients and not so good at being nice to each other, because we went to dental school and they made us compete instead of collaborate. So Dental Nachos is like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood for dentists and humans, people who love dentists, work with dentists, married to dentists, know dentists. Dental Nachos is for them. So I'd love on this day of our 50,000th member, if you've gotten free CE, if you've met a friend, if you check the Facebook group between patients when there's a cancellation or you're having a stressful day, if we've supported you, I would love for you to support us by texting Supreme to 215-543-6454 or go right into the comments, because my team is dropping the link and the discount code for you to use right now. And if you're thinking, I don't need CE, I'm not a dentist, no worries, buy it for a friend. You buy the Supreme and want to gift it to a friend, you do that. Our Supreme team will be glad to do that. So text Supreme to 215-543-6454. to get our best deal on the Dental Nachos Supreme today. You're a dental student or a new grad, 2023 grad, you can text new grad to 215-543-6454. So we're at 50,000 members of people supporting each other, a dentisting world where we're sharing more, caring more, and building a better world together. So I so appreciate everyone, especially my amazing team that's here on Zoom, probably eating the nachos that we got for this celebration behind the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to some friends of our Dental Nachos world who have been here with us. I would love for Jamie, my friend, marketing expert, sponsor of the group, to start their video. So Jamie, welcome to our 50,000th member celebration. Did I do a good job guilt tripping there people into buying the Supreme? Did you feel like I did a good job?
I'm pretty sure you've taken some lessons from some experienced guilters in that.
Yeah,
so not bad. Not bad.
My grandmother Baba was a very good guilter. Baba was a top quality guilter. If she was here, she would get it. So yes, if I've helped you, I would love for you to help me today. So Jamie, I love what you do in our Dental Nachos world as a friend, as a marketing sponsor, as a supporter. But I'd like to ask you, because you don't get a chance, you heard of Dental Nachos from your friend, Dr. Matt Bickle, tag Matt Bickle. He said, check out this group. So tell us a little bit about your journey from way before the pandemic. That what's happened since Dental Nachos started? A whole pandemic has started. I've had a whole additional moderator. We have Tilly from Philly. So tell us a little about your experience in the Dental Nachos world.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my good friend, Dr. Matt, he was wearing this crazy shirt that said Dental Nachos, and everybody was giving him a hard time about it. But he had just recently, you and he had met maybe at maybe a year or so before that. He was learning how to do implants.
Yeah,
He's learning how to take his implant game up a notch, and so he started wearing this shirt around. So I kind of heard about it, but one day he and I were going over his marketing, and I was working on fixing something that he'd had an issue with, and he said, you know, a lot of other dentists have problems that are like this. And so I didn't know a lot of other dentists. I knew him, and he said, I should put you in touch with this guy, Paul Goodman. So a few days later, I know he reached out to you, and a few days later, I'm talking to you on your way home from the hospital with your second moderator.
Always
Brand
time
new
for a
second
conversation.
moderator.
Yeah. 2018, August 2018.
That's right. That's my introduction to Dr. Nacho. And it was rather comical. You were on the way home from the hospital, but you were making use of your time as you always do. And so you had invited me to come to one of the events that you had maybe 3 or 4 weeks after that. And I said yes. And next thing I know, I've got dental clients, and you and I, you know, we've had a lot of conversations around things, but that's been the journey. And throughout all of Dental Nachos, just been blessed to be part of this community. Really appreciate positivity. I appreciate being able to, you know, be able to come into the group, share comments, just help people whenever is necessary, and have the opportunity to even work with some of them.
Hey, I really appreciate that, Jamie. Relationships are magical. We appreciate you supporting the group as a sponsor. I describe what we do a lot like Rittenhouse Square Park, where I do my videos, where it's a free park. And then on the weekends, Jamie, they sell IPAs, they sell bagels, they sell flowers. And just like the sponsors in our community, they pay so we can do what we do. You know, we have 10 people. We start off with one guy, me, and we have 10 people working at Dental Nachos. Because of you, we should cue that song. People have jobs working for the thoughts in my head. They're lucky them. And we also are able to do so many things for the dental universe out there. I just think of some of your relationships, whether it's Jeff Goodman, my brother, Dr. Maggie from Boost Camp. I know you're working with Dr. Todd Fleischman. You know, tell dentists for a minute, you know, dentists are in their offices doing amazing work, but they're not always paying attention to sharing their story with others. And marketing shares their stories with others. Mm-hmm. What have been some of the transformations of your clients, whether a Nacho client or not, and their aha moment? I still want aha to sponsor us, Jamie. Their aha moment, and how marketing is truly magical.
So marketing is at its essence, it's telling your story to the people that are interested, and that will take some sort of an action because of that story. I mean, if we're going to boil it down to that. So all of the dental practices that we work with, you've got a great story to tell. You help people. You help them, whether they're in pain, whether they want to prevent being in pain, whether they want to increase just some confidence, the way that they look, whatever the issue is, you have that skill set. And it's an amazing skill set. And the number of people that have their lives transformed, it's just an awesome thing to be able to see that. And so the challenge is that a lot of dentists don't know how to tell their story in a way that is meaningful to the people that want to hear it. Yeah. And so what we like to try and do is we try and build this solid marketing foundation, make sure you've got a very solid digital footprint to build off of. And then from that, it's talking about the services that you do. But we really like to make it so that it's not just the dentist saying, this is what I do, this is the service I offer. We really like to have your patients tell your story.
Right.
We like to have it that, you know, we'll call them the regular people that can be identified by future patients, to tell the story of how amazing it is. Patient testimonials are huge. Quotes from patients are awesome. Even just using those connections on social media to have your current patients refer new patients to you through social media. So it's great to be able to do that. It's also very important to do that authentically. And that requires you to have photos of the practice. It requires you to know have a plan in place. Doctors are so great at coming up with these clinical systems. it's this additional piece that marketing requires, where you're giving us content, photos of what's going on, birthdays, anniversaries. I mean, Paul, I know that you do a fantastic job of celebrating what's going on in your offices, but that's not the norm. Most practices just don't think about adding that in. And so that's an important part of telling
And your
the story.
patients want to know, the patients want to see you not only as
Yeah.
professionals, but also as people. So you've inspired us to do that more, working with us. Jamie, I so appreciate all you do. If someone's
Thank you.
watching this live or on demand and someone wants to do a chat with you, I always tell people, JFO, just find out and do these consult calls. You will learn something, even if you're not ready to move forward. I tell people that about implants. You'll learn something about me sitting there and telling you about implants, even if you're not ready to move forward now. How could people reach out to you to do that?
Best way to reach out to me is to set up an initial consultation at going to my website, Dental Marketing from Day One.
Awesome, Jamie. Well, thanks so much for doing what you do with us. We'll see you at the next Nacho event, and truly
You got
appreciate
it. Thank you.
So that is one of our first friends. We're going to bring up Richard William May from Mango when the team is ready to bring him up. But first, Richard, I'm not above guilting people. If Dental Nachos has helped you, please text Supreme to 215-543-6454. You will save $143 in honor of our 50,000th member celebration. It is an unlimited on-demand C platform. You can keep your video on, Richard. I can guilt while you're on video. That doesn't distract me at all. So we're going to talk with Richard here in a second, but please, I would love for you to support what we do with the Dental Nachos Supreme.